friends, welcome to another video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I always talk about different stories from the rich Star Trek universe. A few hours ago I have seen the next episode of Star Trek Discovery, at least I think. I barely remember it already, but it's time for me to do a video with my opinions about it. And as usually with Discovery videos, this is going to be with as little spoilers as possible. I'll be quite honest, this episode was really bad. It had 3 storylines and every one of them is boring. Not only that, the directing is simply awful. I can't believe this is directed by the same man who directed Calypso, which is one of the few Discovery-related things I actually like. I honestly couldn't watch the teaser. I had to pause it every couple of seconds. It was making me physically sick so much I thought I'm going to lose my lunch. And this is not a joke, this is not me trying to be funny. I honestly thought I will puke. The teaser contains a combination of constant, and I mean constant movement of camera, and constantly flashing lights. Are they trying to kill their audience? I'm not joking, every few seconds I had to stop watching and quickly watch a static object, usually the wall. Otherwise I would have an accident. I originally thought that it's just me, but I quickly checked a bunch of websites and Facebook groups, and I'm definitely not the only one who experienced it. So why the hell did you do that? There are 3 storylines which have nothing to do with each other. Usually you have an A story and a B story, which in the end are connected somehow. These 3 storylines don't even need to be in the same episode. I have a feeling they think they are being very artistic. That's why they don't care about things like not causing your audience nausea or having an actual story structure. That, or they literally don't know what they are doing. Or a combination of both. So what happens in these 3 storylines? I don't know, I honestly barely remember. One of them was about Amanda, Spock's mother, and Michael. So 2 women I don't care about talking about things which I don't care about. And things which make me angry. So what do we learn in this storyline? That one of the best characters in the history of mankind, Mr. Spock, is a cold-blooded murderer. I repeat, they made Spock a killer. They dared to turn Spock into a violent psychopath who murders people. When I've seen that scene, something in me has died. Why are people who hate Star Trek and everything good about it put in charge of Star Trek? I know probably for the very same reason why are people who hate Star Wars and its fans put in charge of Star Wars. After this point, I gave up. CBS won't get a single cent from me anymore. The second storyline is about Tilly and the ghost of a dead Indian girl she sees. Tilly is in the command program and she definitely doesn't belong there. She is not physically fit for that and she is not mentally fit for that. She is fat, but we see her outrun a bunch of athletic crew members, and trust me, I'm as fat as she is, and if you forced me to run the way she does, I would need a doctor to save my life if I manage to run till the end. Those of us who are fat know what exactly I'm talking about. This just doesn't happen. Fat people are slow. I mean, I'm out of breath and I feel like I'm going to get a heart attack when I walk upstairs to my apartment, which is located on the 1st floor. So why is she not mentally fit for the command training? She sees a ghost and doesn't immediately go to the doctor. She's a huge risk for everybody who would serve under her. Not because she sees a ghost, but because she doesn't tell about it to somebody who would help her. She even has a mental breakdown, a literal mental breakdown on the bridge in front of everybody. What are you doing to her, writers? This is one of the few characters I actually liked on the show. Why are you trying to destroy her? So, how does she get rid of the ghost? Well, using Ghostbusters equipment. Sony should absolutely sue CBS for that. I mean, the stuff Stamets uses, it even looks like the proton beam. Didn't you learn from the Anas Abdeen lawsuit? You shouldn't steal from other sci-fi franchises. So, what happens in the third storyline? The Klingorks are back, hooray, and they somehow look even worse than they looked in season 1. They now have hair and they try to explain it in a way which as usually contradicts previously established canon. So it looks like during the war the Klingons shaved their heads. Okay, let's pretend it's not stupid and doesn't contradict the canon. So what about their skulls? Do they make their skulls smaller in peacetime? In the case you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a cool image available online which compares L'Oreal's head from season 1 and season 2. So Vogue and L'Oreal, or whatever her name is, had a child from her raping him. Okay, this is a plot point. So there is an extremely boring action scene which is shown in slow motion for some reason, because the director doesn't know what he's doing or he thinks he's being artistic. After the fight scene we are shown that Klingons now have magical lightsabers. Sure, why not? Season 1 has established that Vulcans know how to use the Force, so why couldn't the Klingons have magical lightsabers, right? I'm only waiting until they finally start to use stargates for getting to other planets, maybe when the mushroom drive stops working again. Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate, that's all the same thing, right? And because we haven't seen enough of other franchises, we then see the Predator arriving to the scene to save the day by murdering everybody. Then we see that the Predator is actually Space Hitler herself, Empress Jojo, who for some reason looks like a lizard for a few seconds. I mean, we have that special effects budget and we're gonna use it even if the effects make no sense, damn it. So she introduces herself with a black badge and Tyler Vogue immediately knows that she's from Section 31. Yes, the famous secret agency, which is so secret it has their own badges, and is so secret that a random guy knows what the organization is and what the badges mean. Do you remember the times when secret organizations used to be secret? Because I do. I mean, CIA agents wear blue vests with giant CIA letters on them, right? This was probably the worst episode of Star Trek Discovery I have seen so far. When it's not being incredibly boring, it's incredibly stupid. In the start, it even tries to make me puke. Thank you for that. The first episode of the second season led me slightly optimistic. It looked like they learned a lot from the backlash they received. The second one was a huge letdown for me. The third one is just awful. This series so far is a huge highway accident. You know you shouldn't be watching it because it's bad for your health, but you just can't stop watching because you're curious how bad will it get. Anyway, I am happy I don't have to pay for watching this. I thankfully live in a country where I can watch it on my friend's Netflix. Discovery is the only Star Trek show I don't have on home video, and I don't plan to change that anytime soon. On my standard scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is complete garbage, 10 is a masterpiece, and 5 is just average, I would give this episode a clear 0 out of 10. I hope this is the lowest the show can get. Anyway, tell me what did you think about this episode, or if you have even seen it. And if there is some fan of Star Trek Discovery watching this video, I have one serious question. Were you a Star Trek fan before Star Trek Discovery, or is this the first show you have seen? I mean, don't be afraid I don't attack people who disagree with me or anything like that. I'm seriously just trying to understand, let's call it, opposing viewpoints. But enough of my rambling. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'm off to watch something better. The next episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation. I mean, right now I have no clue what is the next episode of TNG, but it should be better than this. Thanks a lot, and see you all very soon. Bye.